Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lehns and you're watching Get Germanized, things you have never told anyone else before.
I am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
So I asked you a while ago on my Instagram, Meister Lehns, to tell me something you have never told anyone else before, and then it was your turn to do the same with me. So I'm gonna pick some of the most interesting responses for this video from you guys, and I'm also gonna tell you some of my answers to your questions. So I would say let's get started right away. Lasst uns anfangen. Alright, I know it's not fair that I start off with one of your secrets, so I thought I should go first. It's really embarrassing though, but I guess it's only fair. But is it fair because you will be anonymous while I will not be? Anyway, something I've never told anyone else before, almost no one, and because I have told people on Instagram before, is that when very rarely this happens, right? It's so embarrassing. When I watch a really intense horror movie, or for example, a really intense horror show, and not much can shock me anymore, right? It has to be really well made, really scary. Then it happens rarely. For example, when I finish the show at like 3 a.m. in the morning, right? And it's really dark and quiet, and like then there's a weird noise or something like that. Then I get spooked. And it happened before that I looked under my bed, right? Because I was like, someone could be hiding there, better check before I go to sleep and expose myself to death and terror. And that's what I did. I'm not proud of it. I'm not a scaredy cat, but it happened. It happened, and that's pretty embarrassing, but because I'm 32 years old, that's also embarrassing. But yeah, so this is very embarrassing for me, and now it's time for your secrets. Let's go. All right, first up, never had my first kiss, and I'm 19 years old already. Well, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I had, to be honest, my first kiss when I was like 16 or something, and I think my first time when I was a little bit older than that. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. For me, I never had that special someone that I really wanted to have that with early on. It just happened at some point. And maybe it's the same for you. You just don't feel comfortable yet. Or maybe you just haven't found this special someone yet. And that's completely normal and fine. Some people have their first kiss when they're 12 or something like that. It doesn't matter either way. It happens or it doesn't. I don't think you should feel embarrassed about that, to be honest. No. Next up, I am 20 years old and still cannot sleep in the dark. Well, that goes back to what I told you a second ago. I think the dark is just this primal thing, right? It must date back genetically as well, this unreasonable fear of the dark for some people, to back in the day when there were dangerous things lurking out in the dark. Most of the time actually, sleeping around the campfire, and then there were like animals or whatever other tribes that might kill you off in the dark. So yeah, I see where that's coming from, and I don't think that's something to be embarrassed about necessarily. But maybe you need to figure out what exactly is it you're scared of. Is it what could be there in the dark? Do you believe in like supernatural things or something like that? Maybe once you figure out the exact root of the problem, you can try to solve it, maybe? Well, for me, it's pretty clear. Like, I shouldn't watch horror movies at 3 a.m. or something like that. It's just silly. Who does that? Who would torture themselves like that? Well, apparently I would. Next up, sometimes I wish I could restart my life because I am perceived as a pathetic person. I responded to this on Instagram already. I just want to say it again because I think it's really important. Self-worth problems are common. I have struggled with them in the past as well, especially during school when I got bullied a lot and stuff like that. And people would constantly tell me that they hated me or that I looked like shit or something like that. It happens, right? To the best of us. And I mean, it's no surprise if bad people treat you like that for a while, right? And I had to work through that myself. But for this specific person, I think it's especially important that I restate this. Your art is amazing. I saw what you can do on Instagram. I am always impressed with artistic talent like this, or the work that people put into it to get to that level. So this is anything but pathetic. Don't you dare think of yourself like that. I repeat myself, I know, but it's important, and we all struggle through self-confidence issues. At some point, I'm pretty sure no one is perfect. No one thinks they're 100% the best person ever all the time. And if you do, you're probably wrong anyway. Not saying that you're not amazing, but 100% is pretty rare, I would say. Anyway, don't think you're pathetic, because I know we get into this mindset sometimes where it's almost like paranoia. I better don't go to that person because that person might think bad of me if I say something wrong. Or you get, I don't know, you just lose many opportunities if you live life like that. You should try to work it out. And like I said, I don't think you have any real reason to feel bad about yourself, really. You seem like a nice person, that's all I can say. And I wish you the best of luck. Next up, I have legit OCD. Well, again, I don't feel like that is a reason to be embarrassed, because these days there's so many people with mental health issues. I suffer from anxiety every now and then because of stress and other factors, I'm pretty sure. It's just normal, I would say, almost. It's sad that it's normal, but definitely not something to be embarrassed about. I think this goes without saying, but I mean, it's normal to be sick in other ways, right? Like if people have the flu, they go to the doctor. And no one will say, oh, he thinks he got the flu, right? Oh, well, maybe if men get the flu, people will say that. But no, I believe that it should be, or that it is, almost just as accepted as any other sickness. The sickness of the mind should be at least seen as just any sickness of the body, equal. I know maybe not for everyone just yet, but we're getting there. The awareness is definitely increasing. And again, so many people suffer from mental health issues that this is not something to be embarrassed about. It's just human nature, especially in a society like this, pressure society where everyone is expected to perform their best all the time at their job. And I don't know, just with the social media pressure as well, where everyone looks perfect only on social media. Like, for example, I mean, I don't look perfect right now, I know this, but this lighting here makes me look way better than I usually do. So, yeah, it's all about perceived reality, and no one's perfect. Everyone has some kind of problem. Like I said, I have anxiety, and it's just normal. Don't worry about it. I mean, try to get better, but don't worry about it too much. Next up, I quit my job yesterday to pursue my dreams and ambitions. Well, that is super impressive, actually. I don't think many people would have the courage to do this, especially in this day and age where, for example, if people have a family, they think they need to provide and be there for them financially as well. And I don't think many would dare to, but I've talked about this before. I think you should. If you are unhappy with your job, if you feel like you don't want to do this for the rest of your life and you just do it because you have a family, I think they would understand if you bring home a little bit less money, but you come home happy. I think that would benefit your family more. So this person here, I'm impressed with. It's really cool. It's a scary thing to do, but I believe it's something we all should at least consider when we're unhappy with what we do. Next up, I have music color synesthesia. Synesthesia, I think, something like that, right? And only recently learned that not everyone can see sounds. Damn it, my English. Yeah, this is really cool. I've never met a person that can see, I want to say I can see colors. I wanted to explain this to my friends the other day. This one person can see colors, I said. I was like, wait, that's not right. No, that associates colors with sounds. That's what I wanted to say. And I feel like that is super interesting, super amazing. And I asked that person actually on Instagram what she thinks or what it looks like for her. Like, does like a rainbow float out of things when it makes a sound or something like that? It was really interesting. Let me actually see what she said exactly, because I think many people have not heard about something like this before, or maybe just want to know what it's all about. All right, here's what she said. I've had a few instances of physically seeing what I've described as like ribbons of light in the air, in which the shape describes a melody while the colors indicate chords or key. I've gotten some good music out of it. And yeah, I mean, she's a musician as well, so that's super cool. How beneficial is that? I think I heard that Devin Townsend, the artist, might have that as well, but then I heard he denied it. Anyway, having something like that as a musician must be super cool. I don't know, I would love to be able to do the same thing, so I'm super jealous. And this is a cool secret, very cool. I like it. Next up, well, someone confessed that they're gay and they haven't told anyone about this before. Well, I answered this person on Instagram before, but I'll say it again here. I don't think in this day and age anyone should have to stay in the closet for something like that. It's just accepted as other things, I believe at least, or should be. I mean, there's gonna be some people who will give you shit, right? It's just for anything, not just for your sexual orientation, but for anything, any opinion, anything you have, right, in your life. Some people will not be a big fan of it, and that's just how life goes. That's just how it will always be, most likely. But I don't think you should, if you feel like, oh, what will people think? I don't think they will think much of it. Most people are cool with this. I have a couple of gay friends, I have gay family members. I couldn't care less. Like, I wish them all the best, but I don't really mind at all. Like, okay, do what you do, right? Yeah, that's cool, that's fine. I don't feel any different about them. I think that's what most people are afraid of, right? That people will treat them differently, that people will think differently about them. I admit, I had to like think, oh, okay, okay. Like that at first, when someone confessed it to me, right? But after that, it just became part of them. It was normal, it was okay. And I feel like most people will react this way. And if they don't, they're not worth having them in your life. Like, kick them out. Like, seriously, anyone who's opposed to that or opposed to something that is a big part of you, what are you waiting for? Kick them out. Because, I mean, if they don't accept you for who you are, then why bother? Why bother? Next up, I litter when no one looks. Well, you won't make friends with that in Germany, I can tell you that much. I mean, there's people who litter in Germany as well. Too many, actually. Okay, maybe you will make friends like that. But no, I think we should all try to be responsible when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, just look at the oceans. There's so much plastic, so much shit in there. And I don't know, other animals live in nature around us all the time, and if you litter, it affects them. It doesn't look nice. It's just, I don't know, a shitty thing to do. I wouldn't do it, but maybe that's just me. Next up, I have a boyfriend, someone said. Well, that means that you didn't tell anyone that you have a boyfriend, and that's fine, I believe at least. Unless you're like, I don't know, a minor and are dating like an old guy or something like that. That's kind of questionable. I would probably not do that, to be honest. Yeah, questionable that the guy does that, but I'm not saying that's the case. Anyway, if you just have a boyfriend and you just haven't told anyone yet, I think that's fine, because I have done this in the past as well when I had a girlfriend and wasn't so sure where it's going, if it's going anywhere. I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to have to say, oh, but yeah, you know, we broke up after like a month or something like that, right? So I'm waiting. I'll wait whenever I date someone, a while at least. And I believe many people do that. I believe that's normal. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with not telling anyone that you have a boyfriend, for that matter. Next up, I had a foursome with two of my best friends and a threesome with two other ones. I'll say this again because I responded to this on Instagram already, but that's impressive, man. It's impressive. It's not something I'm interested in, to be quite honest. I'm more the monogamous type of guy, the traditional kind of guy. But yeah, whatever floats your boat, man. If you're polyamorous and you want to do it, fine by me. There's no judgment here. Next up, I love guys with beards. I did the same thing on Instagram. Well, that's good to hear. That's nice. Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoy this format where people tell me their secrets and I talk about them without dropping names, of course, well, then you have to follow me on Instagram, because if enough people like this, I will do it again. Anonymously, of course, and that's why you have to follow me on Instagram, because with that feature it's anonymous. I won't name any names because you don't want to post all your secrets here in the YouTube comments. I'm pretty sure that would be, no, don't do that. In the video description there you will find all the links to all my social media. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, click the notification bell. Think about joining the channel members, the Germ Elite, by clicking on the join button next to the subscription button. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.